What's up, guys? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, my right hand man.
John Lippe.
And this is your question of the day. Today's question is a good one. We want to know what's the best song Bone or a Bone solo is featured on. So this can't be something from their album. This has got to be like when they're on somebody else's album.
So I mean, I think anybody would say the obvious answer is Notorious Thugs. It's the most It's the most impactful collabo they did. I would argue, and I'm more of a Tupac fan than a Notorious B.I.G. fan. But when they did Notorious Thugs, and a couple days ago we were talking about the most blown away we were when I first heard Notorious Thugs. I remember where I was. My buddy had a caddy with like a couch in the back, and he had a sound system. And he got Life After Death before anybody in the school had it. And he's like, and he was an East Coast fan. He knew I was a Bone fan. He's like, hey, I finally got something we could break bread together on. He's like, come in the car. And the whole LFMOB, we all like fit into a clown car. And he put on It's Bone and Biggie. And we were all like, oh my goodness, bro. Holy cow. And then Biggie came in and did his verse. It's armed and dangerous. Ain't too many could bang with it. We were like, what? Biggie could do the Bone style? Oh my God. So I think Notorious Thugs opened up Bone to the East Coast. And after they did that song, I started I saw the Eternal LP in DJs' record crates. I would see it in every DJ I knew. They all had Eternal. And I was like, oh, they didn't have anything else by Bone. They just had Eternal. And I was like, wow, that's the impact Notorious Thugs had, was it opened Bone to the East Coast. That's in my opinion. And, you know, Thug Love was amazing. I think that one gave them, like, street cred, but Notorious Thugs just opened the world for them. But me personally, my favorite collabos that they do, this is more favorite versus best. So, like, the best is Notorious Thugs, but my favorite is when they've collaborated with TQ, and they've done it numerous times, and Mariah Carey. So that's my favorite, but the best, hands down, Notorious Thugs with Notorious B.I.G.
Well, I'm going to have to say that the best one is when they did Till We Dead and Gone with Master P.
Which one?
No. No, I'm just
what?
I'm just kidding. I said Till We Dead and Gone with Master P. I'm just
Till We Dead and Gone, P and Bone.
Hey, I do love that just because I'm a Master P fan. So both Master P Bone songs get like 2 thumbs up for me because I love that Master P loved Bone. But nah, I agree. I think the greatest Bone feature just has to go with, has to be Notorious Thugs. There's just it's legendary over any other feature that they've done, and I mean, they got some great ones out there, like I just said. I mean, two songs with Master P is nothing to fucking act like that's not legendary. I mean, they've done great songs, Little Easy. I mean, they got some good stuff, and even like newer shit, like I thought Lord with ASAP Ferg was great, but like Notorious Thugs is just as timeless as it gets. Hearing Biggie rap that style and just fuck everything about it, the way Busy raps, even Puffy's little fucking feature in it. It's all very memorable.
And they still perform that song as like that's their A-list performance for their live shows. So that shows you the endurance of that. And additionally, I loved that they were there in Biggie and Puffy's studio. Even though Biggie took the song home to figure it out, they all actually were there, right? So versus like Thug Love, Busy was with Pac, but Busy's like, yeah, Pac just dropped that verse in like a couple of seconds, and he put a lot of effort. Busy put a lot of effort into his verse, so it kind of felt like a collabo, but not all the way collabo. Whereas Bone, and not only that, Tupac didn't really rap like Bone did, whereas Biggie embodied it and took the opportunity to show that he could do something, and I think it blew everybody away. I think it's one of the most famous collaborations, period, in rap history. You know, can you think of a bigger collabo? I mean, I guess Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson was a big deal, but I don't know. I think Notorious Thugs, like beyond the harmony, beyond Bone, it's one of the biggest rap collabos. Impact. We're talking about impact. The impact that did. That solidified Biggie as well, because Biggie was still alive at the well, no, Life After Death. It was after death, but you know, Biggie was newly deceased, right? So I think that added to his arsenal as being one of the greatest MCs.
Yeah, no, that song, I mean, that I will, you know, just in terms of like underrated features, and this may just because I love the Posse cut, but like the points also had Bone and Biggie on it, and like every rapper you can think of. And it's underrated, and I mean, it's nowhere near like Notorious Thugs level in terms of just like how complete the song is, because Notorious Thugs, even the beat, you're just like, oh my god. But the points is like severely like underrated, like kind of lost in the shuffle of just like that's hip hop alumni all on one motherfucking song.
Yeah, and what's cool too is that Bone was still pretty new to the game at that time. To get the honor of being on a track with so many top name artists was pretty big. And you know what's another thing is, we don't really consider this, but for Notorious Thugs to be selected, think of how many collabos Bone has done. I think Bone's probably collaborated with more people than anybody. I mean, they've at least collaborated with more people that mattered than anybody.
They definitely have the most legendary, like, they have the most legendary arsenal of fucking features of all time. I mean, and there's the obvious, like, you know, you can say, hey, nobody's done Easy, Pun, Biggie, Tupac, but I mean, even past that, I mean, these guys have fucking Phil Collins, fucking Mariah Carey, legends, legendary. I mean, like, even past that, think of like War, right? Henry Rollins, Flea, Tom Morello. I mean, these are fucking Jonathan Davis from Korn. I mean, crazy.
And Akon is a icon, right? I mean, Akon's an icon, but Akon, he's not so much now. But they got Akon at his peak to do I Tried.
Yeah.
Like, that was Akon peaking right there, and they had a previous like relationship with him, so they were able to land him not just for one but two tracks on the same album too. And you know, Akon's another name that they did it with. Yeah, I think they've made more collaborations even with like lesser known artists than they've made Bone Thugs and Harmony songs. I think there's more Bone collabos than Bone Thugs and Harmony as a group. There's so many.
So there it is, guys. That is your Bone question of the day. What's the best song Bone, group or solo, is featured on? Me and John both agreed that it's Notorious Thugs. Let us know in the comments below what you think the best one is. And don't forget to like and subscribe Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, and share this with a Bone fan. We out of here.
Beyond the harmony, for the fans we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join.